to cries and shrieks of pleasure, as her body was getting ready to enter an orgasm. Ah, master, he growled out, feeling in unison with his master, ready to come with her soft, wanting body. The two climaxed at once. Kyria screamed in utter animal lust, her body shaking. Wait, where am I? Her body shaking as she sobbed out of pleasure, feeling his hot semen gush inside of her, as she felt the orgasmic waves rampage inside of her. Oh, Shahor, she panted. Falling down on the floor, Shahor began scooting away from her as he clutched his stomach. Kyria was simply laying on the floor with semen seeping out of her pussy from her student's ravishing mating. You have done so well in pleasuring me and releasing your... She breathed out covered in sweat. She stopped and looked over at her student as he growled and snarled in the corner. Shahor? Master, I feel so confused, he snarled out. I'm so angry, but I'm not. I feel emotional, so free, so wild. Sure, it's fine, she said, sitting up with her palm out. I was wrong. The beast was not placated. You were. Now the beast must be placated as well. Master, I never... This is my first time, growled Shore like an animal, his eyes wide, and him drooling. Wildly. I never became a beast before. He then slammed his hands on the floor as he began growling and snarling with his mouth salivated wildly as his penis grew hard again, as Hiria watched in shock and awe. He watched him turn into a beast, lurching over and growling into a new form entirely. Shahor roared out as he finally turned into a bear, with horns and a snarling maw as his claws dug into the wooden floor and slammed his paws angrily. He glared at Hiria and roared at her. She responded by simply holding her hand out and not moving an inch, as his penis continuously calling his name so calmly and patient. Shahor. Shahor, it's okay, Shahor. You are all right. Everything is all right. Soon the student would calm down, reduced to snarling and grunting. He moved closer to her, sniffing her hand as Hiria looked at him with a loving smile. There we are, see? Good, good. As he sniffed her hand, she giggled playfully and slid closer to him slowly as he began licking her hand. She lifted her foot up slowly and began pressing her toes against his large bare cock. She began rubbing it carefully. Soon, oh God, soon lifting another foot and began masturbating him with her pretty little feet as she reached out and began petting his furry neck. We need to placate the beast in your soul, Shahor, she cooed out to him, looking at him as he gazed at her lovingly. Don't worry, you won't hurt me. I know you wouldn't dare. You may be in an animal state, but that doesn't make you blind. Her feet reached over and began playing with his large fat balls, rubbing them playfully as she knew he was ready to mount his master as the beast he needed to control. She moaned in anticipation as she slowly slid to her knees and got on all fours for him, laying with his chin against her back as she gazed back at him lovingly. Go ahead. I'm ready. Shore stepped over her, where she shivered in want as she felt his large penis press against her sex lips. Kyria cried out as she felt that large red penis shove into her pussy, her eyes wide as she felt him dig it down far inside her. Oh, oh, she whispered out, and when he began to hump her soft humanoid body, she began to truly emote. Nah, nah, by Cenarius, Malorn be praised. Her body shook with every powerful ram into her pussy, feeling that large animal cock inside her as she mated with her student in such a controversial state. She pursed her lips and moaned out in non-stop pleasure as flesh clapped together with her ass quaking with every hard ram, with the bear fucking her hard and non-stop as she whimpered and bit her lower lip. Shore growled and grunted as he fucked his teacher, humping her small body as he was lost in the pleasure her sex gave his humongous cock. Kyria continued to whimper and yelp as she was fucked by this large bear, in a union frowned on by many. Shower, by all that is good, she screamed out. Don't you stop, I can't let you. It's so good. So big. Ngah. Her eyes went incredibly wide when he began to ravage her body faster and harder. Her loud moans and cries mixed with his growls and bellows. Her large breasts jiggled around, and she hung her head down, her arms shaking wildly from the pleasure her student gave her. Kyria cried out with tears of joy mixed with her heavily sweating body as he kept fucking her body wildly, as if it were not going to stop anytime soon, just as she wished it so. His large, fat balls jiggled around as he fucked her like the animal he was, pounding into her like hell as he snarled and rested his head against her shoulder. She grinned wildly as she panted and moaned in primal lust, loving every bit of this ritual of appeasement to one's animal nature. "You're such a good animal. Yes," she whispered to him. "Come, make me love it. Make me love it so much more." Finally, she panted out in release as she heard him roar and give out a few more rampaging thrusts into her sex, as she felt cum splatter out her sex and onto the floor with white trickles of semen running down her thighs and legs. "Oh, sure. You are on your way," she sighed happily, feeling him dismount her and walk up beside her, licking her face with his large bare tongue. Kyria laughed in pleasure as she let him do so, grinning pleasantly. "You are such a good druid. I have high expectations for you." She then laid on her side as she panted loudly, tired and spent, as she sat in her sweat with tears in her eyes. She felt Shor curl up behind him, licking her head as he growled happily with his flaccid penis rubbing against her buttocks. "You are so pleasant, my student," she said with content. "And don't worry, after a few more times, your beast should be placated." She moaned as she rested against her student as they would go to sleep against each other, the two in a bond that transcends into a love and respect for one another. Kyria moaned happily when she fell asleep with her student and lover. "Yes, I always love placating students. Benefits both of us, indeed." Well, that is it for Jacob's Storytime ASMR Happy Fun Hour. Thank you all for
Great story.
There's a post note also from the author where he reiterates that it's not bestiality, and anyone who tries to argue will be deleted.
Could you repeat the part about his large, fat balls?
His large, fat balls.
Slamming against her sex.
Oh god.
Dude, I lost it. You put so much emphasis on fat balls, dude. His large, fat balls.
Writing is all about the details, images. We can't be screaming. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay.
She's streamed it, Shay.
Did Shay stream it all?
That was great.
You made dude, you made Gabe leave. Was he streaming at the time? And he just like, he's like, I can't stream any more of this.
If anyone has a suggestion that they, oh my god, thank you, Cammy. Just got a tip.
Yeah, set up a tip.
If anyone has a suggestion for next week's story hour, let me know.
I will find something.
Oh yeah, we'll find some smut for you to read,
That
dude.
was
Don't
incredible.
I literally just googled WoW, not safe for work fanfic, and it's like the second result. The first one was pretty good. It was only like a paragraph long. It was about Thrall masturbating.
So that was the wall of Thrall.
That was the Great Wall of Thrall.
Zeph, you ready?
Hold on. Intense, rotation discussion.
Intense masturbation session after listening to Jacob ASMR.
Yeah, can you give me like another 5 minutes of that, please? Like, if you go back over the whole feet thing, I'd really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you like the part with the feet? The
Dioxin
large
just
red bear
pees.
cock?
Oh no, she's still here.
No, that was a big no. I peaced out for like 20 seconds. Nope.
Well, we all know why
I
she
just,
pieced out.
so, you know. I kind of wanted to keep my food down.
She was just so excited.
We gotta delete these comments in this thread, right?
Uh,
Delete those.
Nope,
Delete
just
these.
stay in. Just stay in it. Dude, that whole thread's a meme.
It would be terrible in any other situation.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh dear.
Doesn't like
Oh no.
Missed the large fat balls.
You gotta keep some of it secret. We can't
No,
discuss
you gotta
what
keep-
goes on in the trial section.
You can't.
Oh. 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 Hey, I didn't know that would directly affect my performance.
yeah, minus 50 DKP.
I
You have
would
to
have
say
stuck
big,
through it.
you
I
have
would have,
to
you
say
know,
big
just
fat
gotten the
balls
trash
50
can by my
times
dad.
fast.
Would have been fine.
I didn't see anything wrong with anything that just happened. I thought it was all
Large
fine.
fat balls.
Yeah, like especially the feet part. Oh, I was all over it, dude.
There's a chapter entitled Murgle Murgle if we wanna. I think I'm gonna put up a straw poll and I'm gonna give a I'm gonna
Give the
here's
titles.
two options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let the group decide.
That's good.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
I just want to see
Save
the
that
final.
for save that for Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night probably not, but maybe Sunday.
These are
You won't be
the
here
final
Thursday?
results.
I'm gonna be here
Celebrate
for
our
raid
back to
Thursday, but I gotta dip pretty much right after raid.